pressures, pains, and pleasures of Christmas. So quickly, whiz through a few facts. We got going in 2000. Some of you probably remember Boo.com. They were the first big sort of growth and then crash. And we started about the same day as they did. We turned over 1.7 million. We got 11 full-time staff and a few part-time, and then lots of seasonal staff. We'll come on to them in a minute. Annual orders about just over 50,000. Annual web visitors, 2.9 million, 3 million, and then they come a total of 3.4 million times. So we measure, very important measurement there is how many 0 to 12 months buyers. They're the ones really we're interested in. We want people really to buy at least once a year. And really, as Matt says, until they've bought 3 times from us, we don't really classify them as a proper long-term customer. We do print catalogues. We are a multi-channel business in the true sense. We've got our shop, we do paper, and we do the internet. But everything is based around the internet. Everything is based about bringing people in through our website. We've got 900 SKUs, very roughly. It depends how you count something that's 2 colours. But we've got 600 in the warehouse you saw on the film, and about 300 drop ship or direct dispatch. And you know what those are. So they go straight from the manufacturer to the customer. And we've got 163 suppliers, which is a lot of suppliers to organise. Some of them are super reliable, some of them are okay, and some of them are not reliable. And it's picking off the ones that are not reliable. They're the ones that give us certainly the most pains at Christmas. And our warehouse currently is 7,500 square feet. Not massive, but we're about to nearly double it by putting in a big mezzanine floor. So first of all, on the pressures. So in summary, the pressures come from getting the right products and our suppliers, pressures on space, pressures of getting the right staff in, the temporary staff particularly, the pressures of obviously from our customers, what our customers expect, and from the orders pouring in, which is a lovely pressure to have. And then finally, chocolate. Well, I'll tell you in a minute what it's all about. So, first of all, pressures. So, product selection. Our pressures start really from January the 1st. Because January the 1st is when, if we're going to start developing something new, and we do several games that are exclusive to us, it takes a long time to develop a product. And we have slowly got going some exclusive products. And that's really, it's another talk in itself, isn't it? Owning the brand. You were talking a lot about a brand. How do we as a retailer become a brand? Well, we own it from top to bottom. So that's one thing we're trying to do, develop more brands within our present Finder brand. So product selection, yes. And then the pressures of the weather. Will it be, the biggest problem for us is an Indian summer. So we start putting out Christmas marketing material in, well, when do we do it? The old Woolies window used to go as early as sort of September, end of September, October. Woolies would have their Christmas window. Halloween knocked that out. As soon as Halloween came over from America, it knocked out. And it's now, it didn't then happen till after Halloween. We love a cold autumn. We love a bit of snow. That does trigger, and Nick, again, I'd like to talk to you about it. The weather, does that trigger people going into Christmas mode? We've seen, even just seeing a few Christmassy things around here today has got us into Christmas thinking. You know, what trends are there out there? And it might be something as simple as what the children are doing on the playground. Yo-yos suddenly come in. We've got to have yo-yos. We've got to have thought ahead and try to predict that trend. And then what films? Films are a big trend. So Star Wars, we're talking a lot about Star Wars at the moment. And we got it half right last year. We sold out very quickly Star Wars things. How big is Star Wars going to be this year? We don't know, but we're talking about it a lot and we're trying to prepare for it. So Christmas copy. I was talking to our copywriter and she says, yes, I've already had to start thinking how I get Christmas copy into all our products. Doesn't matter what the product is, but certainly for SEO, how long do I need to give it? A good 3 months for the SEO to kick in. When do we start putting Christmas comments about particular products? getting all the banners ready for Christmas, and of course the mail order catalogue, which is very nearly done and dusted for this year. Our Christmas catalogue is nearly done and dusted. Suppliers. Now, we really pride ourselves on our relationship with suppliers. We always pay them on time. I am a very naive businessman, paying a supplier on time, as I've learnt. But boy, does it reap benefits when a really good seller, and we say, please, can we have another 1,000? I know we ordered 500. And they say, yeah, you know what? You can. I'll take them from X retailer and I'll give them to you because you always pay us on time. And that's been a big lesson for us. Yes, if they don't have the stock available, it's a big problem. If they tell us it's going to be available and then it's not available, that's an even bigger problem for us. And suppliers lie. They lie through their teeth. And we've got a sort of lie detector in the office and we go, we think they're lying. We know they're lying. It's not going to turn up next week, and it doesn't. Stock coming in. You saw the warehouse. You saw how busy it gets. When you get a whole delivery and you sign it off and delivery drive goes off, you open it up and inside there they've sent the pink ones and not the blue ones. That causes a lot of problems in goods in. And that can cock the whole system up. And goods in is, for anyone who's run an actual retail business, goods in is a very, very important part of kick-starting the whole process of basically getting Mrs. Smith's order out. And often big cheers go up when we go into back order of something, and we've been waiting and waiting and waiting. And one Christmas, does anyone remember the BT advert, the Karma Chameleon telephone? And someone brought it. Does anyone remember it? There was a birdie on the telephone line. BT, no, I'm obviously getting very old. Anyway, there was something called the Karma Chameleon telephone, and it was this Karma Chameleon. It was a telephone. Someone decided to bring it out as an actual gadget. And it went round the very early days of the internet, and we sold all of them. And in those days, I only ordered, I think, 60 of them, and they didn't arrive till December the 19th, by which time the phone was going pretty mad. Everyone had been promised it. Then we opened them up, and I just thought, well, I'll have a go with one, and it does the Karma Chameleon song, and guess what? It didn't work. And I tried them all, and every other one didn't work, and there were a lot of very unhappy customers. So we've got, and I put barcodes in there. Barcodes can be wrong, no paperwork. Really boring stuff, but boy, does it bring tears. Space. Yeah, I've talked about goods in. We've just got to the stage now of telling suppliers which day they need to deliver their, now we deliver, things don't come in boxes anymore, they come in pallets. I think last year our record day was 32 pallets arriving, and it's quite a small door in goods in. Well, anyway, I was told, Mark, please can we never have 32 pallets arriving again in one day? And so we have to do a lot more management on goods in, management of that now. Our peak stock date is, you probably can guess, our peak stock date, first week of December. Thereafter, much more goes out than comes in, which is a good sign. We've thought about temporary storage around the business park. We've got little nooks and crannies around the business park. We've got containers we stuff things in. At peak storage day, you can hardly move in the warehouse. And the weather. Again, the pressure of the weather. And that really is to do with snow, and I'll come on to that a bit more in a minute. Staffing, getting the right number of staff. I've learnt, and it's a very emotive subject, and Andrew's here who employs all my packing staff. We have said to ourselves, and when we started it was always children of friends of ours used to come in, and I used to manage them and kick them up the backside when they were talking about Sophie's party last night, and I said, leave Sophie till later, get on, pack the parcels. Now we're much too big for that. We can't afford anyone to muck around and chat. Do you know who the best packers and pickers are? You can probably get Eastern Europeans. They come in 20 minutes early. They have their cup of coffee then. At 2 minutes to 9, they're on their packing station and they are packing. They put their headphones in and they pack. And they pack and they pack and they pack until coffee time, and then they stop and then they come back again. I still quite like employing youngsters and school leavers and students. And I say to them when I get cross, I say, you look at these Eastern Europeans. Who do you think I want to prefer to employ? You guys, who are busy chatting and not getting the parcels out, or these guys who work their socks off. And so we now have a chart. It's quite interesting, motivational stuff, a chart in the kitchen, and through our system, they can see how many parcels each of them have packed. And there's an interesting debate there about how well that does motivate people or not. And the shifts, we've tried all sorts of shifts as well. And there were times when we used to do night shifts. We just got totally out of control. We said, right, we're just going to carry on working. And when it's your own business, you just carry on working. The EU directive goes out of the window, and you just carry on packing and packing and packing. And the youngsters used to really enjoy, I really wanted a night shift. There was something really exciting about doing a night shift. And they would all volunteer to do the night shift. And by sort of Friday morning, they couldn't think straight, and then they had to go to someone's party on Friday evening, of course, and then they couldn't get to sleep. And anyway, we don't do night shifts anymore. We do long shifts, so when we start stretching it, we come in at 6 or 7, and we just work until maybe 8 o'clock at night. All within the EU directive, of course. Maybe we won't need that anymore. That's cheered me up, actually, yeah. Right, so length of the season. When I talk about the season, it's the Christmas season. Nick, I'm really worried you can't see can you see my slides all right? Why don't you come and sit here? Because you of all people, I've got a lot to talk to you about afterwards. You've got to be able to see see all the slides. So the season, the Christmas season, we talked a bit about it before. When did it start before? It started with the Woolies shop window, hopefully in the end of September. When does it start now? And Nick, again, this isn't going to please you, I'm afraid. We were talking in the office. When does Christmas season start? It starts when the John Lewis ad comes out. That's what really kicks it off. And I don't know what date. Does anyone know what date that is? But it's not that early. When will customers start buying? When will they get into the Christmas theme, the Christmas mood? How soon can we trigger the Christmas mood? How quickly can we get them to start thinking about Christmas? The really savvy ones, and we have them and we see them every year, they do their Christmas shopping, can you guess when? In the January sale. They are the really, really organised ones, and boy, do they save a lot of money. And again, as I said, Indian summers are a killer. We haven't had snow for Christmas for quite a few years now, and I seriously think that makes a big dent in our traditional Christmas sales. Customer expectations. So old mail order days, some of you might remember, before the internet was even here, in the back of a mail order catalogue it would say delivery up to 28 days. That was absolutely normal. People laugh at that now. What do you mean 28 days? From China or something, or by sea? Now everyone expects next day. A lot of people are doing same day. No doubt there'll soon be a drone popping it in in the same. I bet someone's done the same hour now within the M25 and couriered your present. I think I want one of those. I think they've tried it out, but they don't make any money, so don't worry about that. Right, processing the orders. Yeah, how quickly can we processing the orders? We try and process all our orders every day. If an order comes in at 5 to 4, we get it out that day. If it comes out in at 4:30 and the postman still hasn't been, we'll get it out that day. That is in our psyche. We've got to get you the present the next day to survive. But we can go from clearing the presents every day to being what I call well behind, 2 days behind, 3 days behind, particularly coming in on a Monday morning. We've had a really good weekend of orders. The orders have been pouring in. And we can be looking, and even by sort of Monday afternoon, we're still on Saturday's orders, or even on Friday evening's orders. It's good and bad. It's a nice problem to have, but you've got to do a lot of planning to make sure by Monday evening we've caught up and we're at least on Sunday's orders. Hi.
Why don't you work on Saturdays and Sundays?
We do work on Saturdays. When we get busy, no problem at all. Would you expect to be paid overtime on a Saturday or not? Yeah, probably. So it's a balance, like everything, between cost and the cost of not getting the parcel out. We do not work on Sundays, and I really strongly believe, not particularly for any Christian reason, but I do believe human beings can work hard for X amount of hours or days, and then we need a break. We really need a break, and we try and everyone needs a break. Everyone's got families. And although it's only 4 weeks, but it's an important 4 weeks of the year. And I reckon you get more out of people then if they have a rest and they get going on the Monday than if you work 7 days a week. We used to, but we've tried it out, and that's our where we've got to now. And I think then people look forward to collapsing on a Sunday, and then they're ready on the Monday. Feedback, so instant feedback. Well, FIFO, how many of you are aware of FIFO? One of the genuine feedback systems. We love FIFO. We think it's fantastic. Social, of course, is much quicker. We've never experienced it, but we've seen our competitors experience it. When things start going wrong, the phones aren't being answered, the emails aren't being answered, everyone goes onto social, and it can kill a company. And I think it was Farbox last Christmas, 2 Christmases ago, everyone just started slating Farbox because they got out of control. And it all happened on their social. So I reckon now the time to make money, we used to have about 6 weeks to make money, we've got to make our money now in about 4 weeks. And that is a lot of pressure. Right, chocolates. The problem with chocolates, and this is a pressure I was told on our waste belt, is that for some reason at Christmas, our office is always full of chocolates. And people give us chocolates, and we have out-of-date chocolate we might have to munch on, or a broken chocolate pizza, and there is always chocolate around in the office. So that is the pressure of chocolate. Right, pains. I'm going to really whiz through it now. So snowing pains, juggling pains, crying pains, yodeling pains, and Christmas decoration pains. Right, so unexpected pains. Snow. What about 5 years ago, 6 years ago, we had those 2 very, very snowy Christmases, and that did muck everything up. Even more, what mucked it up was on the BBC News on about the 4th of December, 10 o'clock news, Tesco will no longer be delivering online. The snow is so bad, the trucks are all gridlocked. Do not order online from Tesco. You will not get it for Christmas. Thank you very much. As we know, in Dorset, it doesn't really snow that much. We instantly put on our website, banner, we all are up to date with orders. It is not snowing in Dorset. Our couriers are working. You will get your parcel. And that's the fun of the internet. We could immediately respond because we had customers ring up. Is it too late to order for Christmas? This was about the 4th or 5th of December. You know, it wasn't very helpful. Strikes, you may not remember, but Royal Mail used to strike fairly regularly or threaten to strike just before Christmas. Black Friday, the biggest pain. We don't have an answer. We've got our own tactics. And I think, Nick, you said you can't just ignore it. You've got to do something. And I totally agree with that. And we're doing something very clever this Christmas, but I can't tell you what. You'll have to wait and see. Juggling, probably Anna, who does our buying. She does the most juggling. She's got a budget. If things are going much faster than we anticipated and things are going much slower, back to the suppliers. Can you have some stuff back? Can we swap it for some other stuff? Can we have a credit? Yes, no problem. Can I have some more of what we haven't got enough of? Lots of juggling. We do cry. If our bestseller runs out, we cry. We cry a lot. We've never had it yet, but my biggest nightmare is when the cover, whatever's on the cover of the catalogue you just sent off, sells so fast. And things these days can sell very, very fast. If they get on a popular blogger and you get a nice feed in from a popular blog, we can sell hundreds. And we had it last weekend. We had eBay decided to put one of our products in some special promotion they were doing. And I suddenly saw all these eBay orders pouring in, and we looked. It was one product, and it just sold out, literally in hours. Very exciting, but very difficult to predict. Back orders. A back order is where we don't have it, but we still let you buy it. Do we let you buy it or don't we? If you've bought 2 products or 10 products, and some of them are in stock, some aren't, do we send you the whole the box now? Do we wait until it's all back in stock? Do we tell you? We've got to keep communicating with you. Wizmos, where is my order? Where is my order? Most common telephone call. We have a sort of policy of trying to just do anything. If we get a Wizmo, we say, why have they rung? Why have they asked us? We haven't communicated. We haven't put it clearly enough on the website. We haven't sent them an email to say that the thing's delayed. So we try and keep those to a minimum. And the other pain, courier companies, you'll have all seen it in the news. Lost parcels are very rare now. I think with SatNav in vans, actually, that's pretty good. And all the tracking and the barcodes and the texting of your delivery date. I think in the old days, delivery drivers, and we stopped putting present finder on our boxes, because I think temporary courier driver. So, oh, present finder, that'll do for Nan, right, that's done. And our present never got there. Now, with everything being scanned, barcoded into the van and scanned out again, very rarely do we get lost parcels. It does still happen a bit. We all know about Yodel and CityLink that went down on, never use Yodel, sorry, but CityLink went down on Christmas Day 2014. And taking the decorations down. By that I mean, not quite that, but all the words, all the copy, all the banners, everything we put on the website. Nobody likes going on a website on December the 26th and seeing Happy Christmas, let alone going onto the website, which I've seen on my competitor's site. I'm pleased to say, go on to the site on the 1st of February and it still says Happy Christmas. Right, pleasures. Right, now, I've nearly finished. What have I got, 2 minutes to go, Andrew? Right, Mr. McGregor. Some of you may know what I'm talking about Mr. McGregor. ABBA's best song, Schadenfreude, and price elasticity of demand. I thought, I better get something intellectual in. Right, otherwise, no, we call it Jaffa Cakes, yeah. Right, so who's Mr. McGregor? Not in the Peter Rabbit book, but Douglas McGregor, his X and Y theory of management, which says that why people like to work hard. We enjoy working hard. We enjoy hard work. We enjoy being busy. And that was the biggest thing, again, when we went down to the office. What's good about Christmas? Being busy. We love being busy. And I think that is true, hopefully, in any business. But actually, I used to be a farmer, and I used to have harvest, and harvest was busy time. And I think it's quite good I think us humans quite like cycles and building up to something and then enjoying it and then relaxing again. Yes, so I look at the orders coming in all the time, and when I see that we've gone over one order a minute, then I get a lot of pleasure. Articles being printed, all the work we do on the PR and the blogs, and the feedback we get from the bloggers to say, we love your product, thanks for saying, we're going to do this amazing review. Big pleasure. Yes, unexpected bestsellers. Why do people buy fart extinguishers? We still don't know why, but they buy fart extinguishers. Royal Mail laureate. One of my biggest moments in the business was when we said, Royal Mail rang up and said, yeah, sorry, Mark, I'm afraid the van we sent isn't going to be big enough anymore. We're going to have to send you a lorry. I thought, yes, we've got there. We now have lots of lorries turning up. Competitors running out, that's the Schadenfreude bit. And Google does measure whether a product's in stock or not, and you see your ranking changing as you go out of stock, or whether a competitor goes out of stock, you begin to go up the ranking if you're in stock, which is, again, good on Google, very satisfying. I've talked about customer feedback. Money, yes, it is a pleasure. And all normal companies, we know who we're talking about, we do have to make a profit. We do have to get the money in. We do have to pay the bills. And we can only really pay the bills and make a profit right at the end of the year. Oh, Jaffa Cakes, right. So price elasticity of demand. So I was doing a night shift with a really good guy. He was an Oxford economics student. And he said, Mark, he said, I want to try something out. I said, what do you want to try out? This is about 3 a.m. in the morning. And he said, well, we learn in economics about the price elasticity of demand. So as you put a price up, the demand goes down. But let's try and disprove it. I said, yeah, let's try and disprove it. And this was a yard of Jaffa Cakes. We were selling them. They were doing really well. I noticed everyone else had run out. We still had a nice big stock of them. We said, let's try it out. Every hour, we put the price up by £1. We put the price up by £1. People kept buying them. Another £1. They kept buying them. So a £4.99 product. We eventually were selling them for £29.99. No problem at all. Out they were going. Just a few Jaffa Cakes, 30 quid. Bargain. You don't know you've done it. You don't know how lucky you are. But the joke did backfire on me. We had a very nice lady buy them. We sent them off up to Newcastle. And unbelievably, that lovely customer, she was the secretary of a friend of mine in a legal practice in Newcastle. I get an email from my friend a couple of days later. Mark, my secretary has just bought the most outrageously priced item from your website. How dare you sell her Jaffa Cakes for £30? What are you thinking of? And I sort of went, oh, I've been caught out here. And I said, well, I'm very sorry. And of course she can have her money back. But we were just testing a theory and it worked. So it just shows if you get the right product on the internet and you're the only one who's got it, you can sell it for what you want. That is a big pleasure. There we go. That's the end. Right. Thank you.